Brown here with you. Tomorrow, August 1st, World Lung Cancer Day, which is dedicated to raising awareness about the deadly disease. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths globally, claiming the lives of close to 21,000 Canadians each year. So here to debunk some lung cancer myths is Doctor Adrian Sacher, a thoracic oncologist from the Princess Margaret Cancer Center. Dr. Sacher, welcome to BT.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. This is such important information that people really need to understand as they move through their life, because it's life-saving information. So let's talk about lung cancer and why is it such a deadly form? Like, why is it such a serious form of cancer?
So lung cancer is both common and very aggressive. It can spread through the body very rapidly, and so most patients are actually diagnosed at an advanced stage of disease. To give you an example, more women are going to die this year from lung cancer than breast, ovarian, and cervical cancer put together.
Wow.
Wow, really?
Really.
I did not know that. Okay, yeah.
Now, with lung cancer, it also carries a stigma. And so many patients that are diagnosed have a difficult time telling their family or loved ones their exact cancer diagnosis. You may have had family or loved ones that you knew they had cancer, but they might not have told you that they had lung cancer specifically. I think that leads us to the other reason why lung cancer is such a challenge, and that is that we need improved awareness of the impact of lung cancer, and with that, more funding for research for new treatments for lung cancer.
Wow, that is a lot of information right there. Again, that's kind of new to us, and that's why we have these segments. So thank you for being here for that. And we'll, you know what, we'll do a little true or false trivia here to kind of help demystify and bring away some of the mystery behind this for all of us. Let's go with the first one here. True or false? If you've never smoked, you don't have to worry about lung cancer. I think this is a big question that a lot of people have. I'm going to say that is false.
Yeah, I'm going to say false as well, and I feel like that's potentially the stigma that you're speaking about in terms of people not really wanting to claim the kind of cancer that they have because it's associated with the behavior that we now know to be deadly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you're absolutely right, that is false. The only thing that you need to be at risk of lung cancer is lungs.
Right.
So we know about risk factors like tobacco use as well as advanced age with lung cancer, but we are increasingly seeing patients that are young and have never used tobacco developing lung cancer. About 20% of patients nowadays with lung cancer will have never used tobacco. Wow. We also know that women are at increased risk, particularly of more aggressive forms of lung cancer. And we're also starting to recognize new risk factors for lung cancer like air pollution, radon gas in homes, water pollutants, and others. Now, all that being said, it's important to keep in mind that whether someone has a risk factor for lung cancer or not, this is an awful disease. No one ever deserves lung cancer.
Doctor, before we get to the next one, it might be too soon for some of the research, but vaping, because that's huge now as people get away from the tobacco aspect. Is that a risk factor as well?
That is also a risk factor. And so I think in terms of reducing risk of lung cancer when we're talking about tobacco, the only safe amount is 0.
Yeah.
Good point, Devo. Okay, moving on to the next one. You can't be screened for lung cancer. True or false? You can't be screened for lung cancer.
I'm going false again.
Yeah, I would hope you can be screened for lung cancer. So false.
Absolutely right. That one's false.
Okay.
So I think most people have heard of having a mammogram to screen for breast cancer or a colonoscopy to screen for colon cancer. But you can actually get an annual low-dose CT to screen for lung cancer if you are someone in a very high-risk group. Evidence demonstrates that that improves our chance of catching lung cancer early, as well as improving patient outcomes. And there's already a screening program in Ontario. So if you are 55 to 74 and you have 20 years or more of cumulative tobacco exposure, you can be referred for that program to be screened. At Princess Margaret, we're also working to develop newer techniques like blood-based screening tests that we're hoping can help not just that high-risk group, but the whole population. But we'll need more funding to do that.
Right. And speaking of funding, and I know you're saying that it's decreasing, the mortality rate is increasing over the years now, but you have an event coming up as well to help with that funding. Tell us about that.
So the best way to support lung cancer research is to support our research program through the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. We run events through the year. We also have a cycling event in Northern Pass coming up on August 10th. If you want more information about lung cancer, you can also look at the Lung Cancer Canada website, as well as the Lung Cancer Foundation of America website.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Sacher.
A lot of important work that you're doing. We appreciate you coming in, Dr. Adrian. Thank you so much for that information. Knowing is half the battle,
And
as
the
they
stigma.
say, right?
You raised a really good point about the stigma. We got to end that stigma around that, because early detection, like all cancers, that's key. So you got to know what you're dealing with.
Yeah. Tomorrow, August 1st, World Lung Cancer Day. We appreciate the doctor coming in once again.